everybody. Today we are going to be taking a overview look at our green management portal. Now, when you first log in, you're going to see this main page, and you have got a ton of data right here at your fingertips. Notice user and application data. You've got usage stats, monthly and previous month. We can even, up on the top, you've got tons of tabs to interact with users, conferences, auto attendance. We'll go over that here in a bit. Check out the current active call queue. You can barge in on calls. You can also whisper in. We've got both those features. You can see duration, all that stuff. You've also got, peak active calls. You could search by hour, day, minutes. You can do that across all calls or off net. Now up here at the top is where we're going to jump into other sections of our portal. Let's dive into users. So here we can see not only just our users, we can see all of our auto attendants, all of our call queues, all of our locations. Everything is tied to an extension, and that's how we're routing and tying everything together. Okay, let's jump into a user here, and let's see what we can do. So, you can update first, last name, just, if people are moving around in the company or people come and go. You can update people within departments, sites, okay? Scroll down here. You can also, update passwords, stuff like that. Let's go over to answering rules. Now, this is cool. So you can choose how long you want a phone call to ring for. So 25, 10, 50. Currently, you can see that I have a default time frame set, and it's a simultaneous ring. Let's go ahead and just add an additional rule. So this is where we can change our time frames. Okay, so let's say the default one is Monday through Friday, but May or business hours or whatever we want to create has Saturday in there. We could easily adjust that. Okay, and I'll show you here where I created this business hours in a bit. And then you can tweak the settings here. So you can forward, you can have it under do not disturb, call screen, simultaneous ring. You can include the user's extension, ring all users' phones, a bunch of really cool options. Let's check out phones. So here you can see I currently have my desktop phone set up, all right? And then I've also got the mobile app. Okay, this right here is my actual mobile phone ID, and then that's the PBX there. So let's just say we needed to add a physical device, maybe a Yealing T54. So first off, we can choose to have all calls recorded that's going to this device, which is really cool. Let's go here and select the model. And I said the 54. There you go, T54W, beautiful. MAC address, and boom, add, you're good to go. So that is super easy to do. While we're on the topic of mobile app and web phone, if you go over here under apps, you can actually pull up the web phone. So here's our web phone. Really easy to use, really simple and clean. Hit the plus sign. We can start a new conversation. So any type of texting, we can create a new call. You've got your voicemail, you've got your call history, and then you've got your chat bubble for any chats that you're currently having. And then you can go over here and update greetings, settings, things like that. So really simple, intuitive web phone here. And this is very reminiscent of the mobile app. I can't pull up the mobile app on my PC, but very reminiscent, very simple to use. And lastly, we go to advanced, and this is cool because we can reset the user. And then also, when we create new users, unless you want to throw in a password there, usually what you could do is just send a welcome email, and that user can create their own password. So really cool stuff with users. Let's check out conferences. So let's say we wanted to add a brand new conference line. Pretty easy, all right? We'll type it in. Choose the extension you want it to be under. Again, this is all extension based, which makes it really easy. Choose which direct phone number it's going to be part of. You got your leader pin, participant pin, and then you can choose your participants, okay? So just slide it to the max you want. Minimum participants to start. This is great from a flexibility standpoint. It gives you the choice to have that conference kickoff when one person joins, or 2, 3, 4, up to 5 before it kicks off. Auto attendance. Now, there's nothing worse than having a frustrating auto attendant setup system. This is so simple. All right. So as you can see, we've got 4 of them already created here. Let's just go ahead and make a new one. All right. Testing, extension. Then you got your time frame. Now, I'm going to jump around here to explain this. So you've got your default, which is just all time. But what's this business hours? So I actually created this before I started recording. We go over here to time frames, and this is where we can create brand new time frames. Let's check out the business hours one first. This is pretty self-explanatory, but it's just a snapshot of what a 9 to 5 business hour, kind of auto attendant window would be. Let's say we needed to change that though. Like maybe this business is now open on Saturdays for a limited time. We can adjust those hours as needed, so the auto attendant is always functioning when it needs to. Okay, so bam, now your business hours are changed. You want to add a completely separate time frame for weekends and have an auto attendant for the weekends, you can do that by adding a brand new one. So again, back to edit. This is where we can set up everything that the auto attendant is actually doing. Okay, so all this information, you can't change it once you create it. Well, you can change the name, but not the extension. That's all done when you create it. This is the start of an auto attendant, but it's kind of separate. So think of an intro greeting before an auto attendant. So thank you for calling John Hopkins Medical Facility. For quality assurances, all calls will be recorded. Then it goes into the actual auto attendant. Press 1 for billing, press 2 for sales, all that kind of stuff. So you can do speech to text. Well, let's just do an example. Choose your language and then choose the voice you want to use. We got a bunch of them kind of pre-built in here. Let's just go with Emma. There you go. Pretty easy. And then select your time frame. Okay, so we want this to happen during business hours. We'll hit save. Cool. So now you can see it's under business hours. You can easily see what time frames everything is under. So auto attendance, time frames within, super easy. Let's check out call queues. A couple of them built in here. You know, you've got your call park, you've got customer service, again, all extension based. Let's just jump into our, call park one. So first off, you can edit the music on hold. Just go here, real easy. We can straight up edit the queue. Let's do that. So you can update the department, the site, and then you can choose, essentially what the functionality is of this. So you've got your call park. If you hover over this little eye icon, by the way, it's throughout the portal. It'll just basically let you know what this option does or what this feature does, okay? Or we could do a linear hunt. Route callers to available agents in a predefined order. So essentially, like a hunt group, right? So we can do that. Choose the available number you want for that, and then you can choose to record calls. You can choose to record stats. When it says record calls, that has to do with recording calls just for this call park instance, not on a user level. If you want to record calls on a user level, you could do that. You just have to go to each individual user to do it. And then the statistics, just so you don't misunderstand, those stats are call queue stats, not the call recording. And then, of course, you can do a message. We'll just leave it at that. It's pretty easy. Same with creating new ones. Music on hold, pretty self-explanatory. This can either be music or a recorded message. You can have multiples, and then also music and messages can be randomized. So some cool features around music on hold. Inventory is really cool. So here is where you have all of your DIDs, right? Now, as you can see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 that are all tied to DIDs, but we've got 3 that are completely available and they're not tied to anything. It's really easy to assign it to someone. Just go ahead and hit edit. The available number. So we're going to choose, what do we want to tie it to? Do we want it to go to an auto attendant? Do we want it to go to a user or conference? Let's go to a user, okay? So that's going to pop up, and let's just do, let's put it under Graham. So you can easily assign DIDs to people. really cool. We've also got under apps our video conference. Now this is cool. It's going to open up another tab and a few options here. So you've got your meetings, you've also got your rooms. Now what's the difference? Meetings are going to be meetings, one-time events, a couple people join the meeting and then it goes away. Rooms are permanent instances that people can jump into at any time. You can kind of have a code tied to it so people can get into it whenever they want. Pretty cool. You can start a brand new, you can join, you can schedule, you can also create those meeting rooms if you want. Then you can also view pass. So super easy stuff here. Again, create a name, description, and then you can choose it to be a conference. So meet with up to 25 people over a video, or you can choose to have it as a webinar, present it to 1,000 viewers. So you've got options there. You got your meeting ID, a URL is auto-generated, a dial-in number is generated. You can choose who has access to audio and video. So everyone, hosts only, okay. That can be great for just controlling your calls. A couple other cool options here, and then here you can invite whoever you want to it. So pretty easy to set up any of that as well. This has been a real high-level overview, basic functionality. We'll get other videos out in the future that have more detail about specific topics. If you guys have questions, though, reach out to your CAMs, give us a call. We're happy to walk you through and get you guys up to speed on everything that this can do. Take care, everybody.